welcome back. Now, the last time you saw me was after I've just discovered a new location. I was rather excited. Well, I couldn't hang on much longer. I'm back and I'm about to walk the magical tunnel, which will then lead me onto that new location, and I'm hoping from there I'll find some decent compositions. Now, the conditions today, they're not ideal, because last time I said the location would work well in fog, as applies with a lot of woodland photography. We haven't got that. We have, however, got a light dusting of snow, so that might bring some excitement to the scene. Now, going forward in these videos, it's not all about the photography, it's about the videography as well. And what I mean by that is how I showcase a scene. I think it's important for you as the viewer to get immersed into the location, feel the ambience. So I'm going to do a lot of B-roll, and also just to capture the sounds as well. The sun is just about rising now, so the dawn chorus is certainly in its full swing. Anyway, without further ado, let's go. It's turned out to be quite a calm morning, to be honest. I thought it was going to be quite blustery, but yeah, very tranquil indeed. The sun is just illuminating the top of this small area of woodland. Now, for the first shot, I've revisited a previous image I showed you. Now, obviously, the main difference between that image and now is the dusting of snow. And I've played around with a few compositions. I've also changed lenses as well. We're revisiting this wonderful S-bend, the stream, such a strong feature. It had to be included. The problem I've got, or the dilemma I have, is what proportion of the stream do I include in the composition? Let me just explain. The start of the stream, as it comes into the image, is quite large. I'm just going to look at a few images now, and I'll show you these. See that first image there? I think the lower part of the stream, it's too dominant, it's too large an area, and I want as much equal shapes as possible. Now, that was taken with the 35mm lens. It was too close. The reason I use the 35mm is I was gonna use a really shallow depth of field, but I didn't like the focal length, so I've moved on to my standard. standard lens. I've zoomed out a bit on this one. I've actually included another tree on the left hand side just to try to balance it out, and I think it works better. The stream is more an equal size, but then I've come across this image where I step back even further and included 3 trees. Now I had to be careful because the 3 trees, I wanted to ensure there is equal space between them. Just think about harmony. And also included the meandering stream as well. Again, equal proportions throughout. And I think this image works the best. I'm now gonna head downstream and look back. There is a interesting tree back there. Seems to have its own personality. Some lovely angles going on. I'm just gonna stick to this area here. It's basically divided into 2 parts, is this woodland. You've got this area here which is dominated by the stream running through the middle of it, and further on, and I'll show you what I mean, you've got your more linear, straighter, vertical trees, but I'm not going to venture down there this morning. I'm just going to keep to this area. To be honest, I think this composition would work either way, whether you're looking downstream or upstream, which I am now. I think with this composition, however, it brings into the equation the more characterful trees. There's certainly one which is standing out now. It's angling slightly to the right hand side. Still using the S-bend, it's such a strong feature, and still ensuring there's sufficient separation in the background between the trees as well. Also, every now and then there is a bit of light appearing in the background. The sun is just breaking through the clouds, so I've stepped back even further and I've just brought the background into the frame where there's a bit of light, and I think that works as well. Now, it is hard to find isolation of the more characterful looking trees. You know, with woodland photography, always try to isolate the interesting characters, personalities amongst the more, let's say, formal looking trees. I am going to look around because there's so much potential in this area. -3 apparently. -3. We're in focus. No, I am. Right. I mentioned before about trying to find some trees which stood out amongst the rest. It's confession time. The last time I was here, I spotted these two characters behind me, and I took a few snaps then. To be honest, I think it worked out better last time than what it is now. Yes, we've got snow, but for me, it just doesn't, it's not as striking. The reason being because last time the moss on the wall, which you see in the frame there, and also on the trees, it just stood out more vivid. I just thought it added more character. Now, in terms of composition, more or less put them in the centre of the frame, but you'll notice that the wall has a couple of dips. That's where the stones have fallen away. So I've tried to ensure that the branches of the tree fall in the middle of those dips in the wall, just to help things along more pleasing to the eye. I think this works. I'm gonna weave my magic a bit in post-production. I'm gonna play around with these, see what we can do. Probably use the radial filter just to highlight, increase exposure, and also add a vignette. I do like playing with the split toning as well. You may have noticed that in some of my previous images where I add blue to the shadows and yellow to the highlights. Maybe even black and white, who knows? Who knows what I will produce in the warmth of my office. Right, I think that's it now. Good little session. I'm really looking forward to my next session when I venture further down into that second area of these woods. Still rather happy with myself that I found this location. Right, okay. Keep smiling, everyone. Take good care of yourselves. Until next time. Bye bye for now.